Just imagine a San Joaquin Valley where every child is taken care of.
Imagine a San Joaquin Valley where every child has a support system that keeps them off the streets and in the classroom.
Just imagine a San Joaquin Valley where every child has a pathway towards success.
It would be great if we could simply wave a magic wand and find solutions to all of our problems.
Or set up a powerful mechanism that would handle those issues well into the future.
But for those of us who are the adults now, in business, in education, in philanthropy,
we know that trying to predict too far in the future can be a losing proposition.
And that's why the Fresno Regional Foundation created the fund.
Although the fund is a permanent endowment, it's flexible and dynamic. It will be able to deal with the changing winds of time. The fund was developed to respond to the most pressing social needs of today, and it will always be able to adapt to the most pressing social issues of tomorrow.
So how is it possible that the fund can be relevant and effective now and in a future we can't predict? By enlisting the help of an advisory committee that brings a passion for the region, diverse perspectives, and deep local knowledge.
We knew that we wanted to enrich people's lives from the beginning, so that was clear. Everyone in that room has a passion for people.
We are so geographically diverse, we were advocating for different areas. So although the research guided our decision, we really had to consider the different areas of the valley.
And they gave us no guidelines, essentially, other than figure out what we thought was the biggest problem looming in our San Joaquin Valley, and that how we wanted to direct funds to help our residents.
We looked at employment rates and water issues and all these different things with regards to the environment, and we really wanted to consider that as some sort of possibility, but we didn't find any meat with that.
Whether it was crime, poverty, unemployment, or the environment, it all kept pointing to early intervention and preparing a child for success by the 3rd grade.
It was staggering to see how high our high school dropout rate really was.
So that gave way to, well, why aren't our students graduating from high school? Because if we're not producing high school graduates, we know we're not going to be producing a ready workforce. If we aren't producing a ready workforce, we know we're not going to get enriched lives as adults.
And then when you really trace back high school dropout rate, it's so much larger than that. And where does intervention begin? And how does the high school dropout rate actually connect to employability and your future ability to be a homeowner and all these different things? And how does that affect your life?
Well, one of the things that we did look at was the fact that there were a lot of programs out there who are doing a lot of great things, but they're each doing their thing in their one little corner. And what we needed to do is we needed to close those gaps. We needed to help people work together.
So we felt like we would get a 2-for-1, so to speak, if we dealt with early childhood education, realizing that the parent could not be left out of that equation.
The goal is to invest in programs that work.
You know, you want to make sure that the money goes to a program that is going to do the job that they say that they're going to do.
The way you support San Joaquin Valley families is you support San Joaquin Valley children.
The James Irvine Foundation has generously provided the seed money to get the fund up and running. But in order for the fund to sustain grant making at levels of $1 million a year forever, local money must be raised.
We were given a gift. The Valley was given a gift. And we need to build on that. We need to grow that now so that we can address the social issues that we're facing now for future generations.
As a business person, I expect a good return on investment. I don't want to just give money and it just goes away and it's over. I want to give money and that money is used on the problem until that problem is fixed. And I know the fund will stay on the problem. It's an endowment. It will stay on the issues until they're fixed.
An endowment works in perpetuity. And that's one of the things that the Regional Foundation is able to offer people so that your investment in Fresno or in the Central Valley or in the San Joaquin Valley, you know that that investment will pay dividends forever.
The fund is a special kind of endowment. It's different in that it pulls professionals and leaders in the different counties, and they look together at what the problems are in the area, and then they craft what the solution will look like. And that, I like that because it'll be able to change over time. As we solve one problem, we'll be able to look at the next and what is the current issue that we need to address in our valley.
The important thing about getting into the fund at this point is that all future donations to this fund will be built on the contributions that we make now. So it's important to get into the fund so that it's viable quickly.
We all know that with investments, the sooner we start, the better. Well, it's the same with the fund. The sooner we begin to fund that and to match the gift that we've been given, the sooner we can start to see the impact it'll make in our valley.
And so this fund will be raised here, and how the money is granted will be decided here, and the problem that is solved will be solved here.
I know that there's problems in the San Joaquin Valley, and I know that the fund can help.
I expect the impact in the community to be big and to be meaningful and to be permanent.
The fund is going to bring real change, meaningful change, permanent change to the San Joaquin Valley. But it's going to take Valley donors, families, and businesses to build the permanent endowment that will allow the fund to be self-sustaining. In order for the fund to award $1 million in high-impact grants every year, the Fresno Regional Foundation is called upon to raise $20 million. Donors who contribute to the fund will forever be associated as early investors, inextricably linked to the one endowment that will always be helping to solve the most pressing social issue of our time.
I have grandchildren, and God willing, they'll live in Fresno. And the environment that they'll live in will be better because of the investment that we all make right now.
I've only been in the Valley about 10 years, a little more than 10 years, but I've absolutely fallen in love with the Valley, with the agriculture, with the people, with the diversity. And yes, I know that there are problems here in our Valley, but the solutions are also here. They're with us. And it's our responsibility to see that those happen.